W-H-I-T-N-E-Y. Who's that girl? It's Whitney Reynolds. Oh, she's got a show. Catch it on the weekends. Every single Saturday, right at noon on Chicago's NBC 5.2.
Welcome to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds, and we are joined by a professional. Kevin Delaney is actually a coach for the Blackhawks. You're in your second season coming up?
I'm the second season. I am the skating and skills coach, so I'm not actually a coach that's on the bench, and I'm not important as some of the other coaches, but I do help out.
Well, I was going to say, it takes everyone. I always say, you know, like my cameraman, my director, my senior producers, we are all part of the same moving vehicle. It takes all of us.
It is a team.
And that is so true. So let's talk about, you joined the Blackhawks. Was it 2 seasons ago? You've done one season?
This is my second season.
Okay,
yes.
So let's talk about skills. Who are you working with? Are you working with all the players?
I work with players in the farm system that are trying to get moved up, and also work with current players and players that are coming off of injuries.
Wow.
So, yes.
Now, how did they find you for this?
They find me on Craigslist.
On Craigslist. That is funny. But you've actually, as funny as that is, it's not true because you've been hockey's been a part of your life. Hockey's literally your
I was at the right
name.
place at the right time. The guy before me, his contract was up, and that happened. They gave me a tryout, and they liked what I did.
Now, have you always been Chicago-based?
I have been Chicago-based for the last 25 years. Yes.
And you have also, whenever you're not doing that, you also host camps. We're in Lincolnwood today, where you just got done teaching a camp. How many kids run through here?
This week, we'll probably have 160 kids run through it.
Wow,
yes.
160 kids. And you're teaching skills, kind of like what you do for the Blackhawks, skills, fundamentals.
Right, and we do little games. We have a large coaching staff, so our big focus is making sure the kids get taught something while they're here.
Absolutely. You know, in one of our later segments, we are going to talk about how hockey can really help develop a lot of teamwork. But is that something that kids will get from your camp as well?
Yeah, they get teamwork, and hockey or any team sport, it does help.
Whenever I think of hockey, coming from the South, I grew up with football, and I think hockey is expanding everywhere, just as lacrosse and other sports are really coming up to rise. But I didn't know a lot about hockey until I moved here, and I feel like the Midwest really lives, breathes, and loves hockey.
There's a very large hockey contingent in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when did you lace up your first skates?
When I laced up my skates, I was probably 4 years old. Yes.
4 years old, and you've been doing it ever since.
I've been loving it ever since, yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
So was it ever one of those moments whenever you found out that you were going to be working with the Blackhawks, that this is like, I have arrived kind of thing? Or was it kind of like, okay, I knew I'd get here one day?
It's always a dream for every kid to play in the NHL, and that was just the right place at the right time. I still am very fortunate and can't believe it.
I love that.
It's a great experience, yes.
So your camp is here in Lincolnwood. Do you ever do any camps in the city?
I do not do camps in the city, but other organizations hire myself and my staff to come in during the week throughout the season, once or twice a week, to work with the teams and give them an extra ice time with skills, skating, shooting.
Ooh, I love that. And we're going to actually get to shoot a puck? Am I saying the lingo right?
Yes, you're going to shoot a puck when you teach you how to put the puck in the net. Yes.
Oh, yes, I can't wait.
Yes.
And so going back to all these people that you've been training, you actually got to train and work with a Japanese pro team?
Yes, I did.
Wow, tell me about that.
That was just one of my random connections through a college friend whose cousin coaches the pro team in Japan. Sent 4 players out to train with me this summer and skate with the college and junior players that I have working with over the summer.
I love that. What advice would you give for people at home that maybe have a little kid that is getting ready to start this hockey adventure, or maybe they're in middle school and they're getting frustrated because it is a challenging sport? I mean, I'm going to find out how challenging it is here in a minute.
Right.
But what advice would you give?
Just if you want to do it, do it. You're never too young or never too old to try.
Never too old. What's the oldest person you've ever trained?
The oldest person
Yes.
I've ever trained. I have people in their late 50s and 60s out with me.
Ooh.
Yes, I do an adult.
Wow.
Yes.
Hopefully all the padding's on. We don't need any broken bones.
No.
I'll have all the padding on in a minute as well.
Okay.
So last but not least, you give back. Let's talk about the organization that you love.
Or the American Hearing Impaired Hockey Association.
And you have the logo right on your shirt.
How about that?
Where'd your passion come from for that?
My passion came from it. I attended it as a young boy. I have a hearing impairment in both ears, which you wouldn't really know.
I would never know.
I wear a hearing aid. I've been wearing a hearing aid since the 3rd grade. I'm not wearing it now. But the camp was started with Stan Mikita, former BlackHawk All-Star, and it's great. And his friend Irv Tianabek, who had a son that was hearing impaired and had wanted to give him the same opportunity as hearing kids. So he used Irv's business contacts and Stan's hockey contacts and started a school back in 1973 at Randhurst Mall.
Wow.
Probably had maybe 10 or 15 kids, and now it's probably over 2,500 kids have gone through the camp since 1973, and we put a team in the World Games for the Deaf in the United States of defending gold medal champions.
That is incredible. I love whenever I hear that people of influence give back, because that's what it's all about, right?
Yep, and it's done here locally out in Downers Grove and Woodridge every June.
Wow, I love
Kids come
that.
from all over the United States.
All over, and now they have a Blackhawks coach that is involved.
Well, it's funny, the person that taught me at this camp, Wally Cremilo, was the skating coach for the Blackhawks for 4 years in the early 80s.
So a double connection.
A double connection, yes.
Well, I don't know if you're ready for this, but coming up next, I am going to put on the skates and we're going to hit the ice.
Oh, I like your chances.
Okay, we'll be right back, guys.
Today's Weekends with Whitney show is brought to you by STI Movers, the official moving company for W3. To schedule your appointment, call 888-449-1223. STI Movers, moving you forward.
There we go. That's why. There you go. You got that?
Wow! Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that.
Those are hockey players for you.
Did you plan that?
I did not plan that.
That is crazy. I was not expecting that at all. Now, what age are those guys?
One of those guys is 26, and the other two are seniors in college.
Wow, and they play hockey all the time.
They play hockey all the time.
Just making sure my curls are still alive here.
They're part of my expert staff.
They are?
Yes,
okay.
yes,
So
yes.
now that I was going to say, we are learning the basics right here, right now, but that was pretty advanced.
They just taught you how to stop.
They sure
Yes, that's
did.
something we teach the kids too. It takes a little while. You got to learn your edges, and but yes, we teach them to stop too within the first.
So we know that I can skate. I'm suited up. What all am I wearing? I'm wearing pads.
So you have skates. You have shin pads with socks. That's the tape to hold your shin pads. You have a garter belt, right?
Got it. Yep.
You wore it your debutante, and then you have pants, right? Shoulder pads.
And I still have my skinny jeans on underneath.
Very nice.
Keeping
Can't
it
wait to see
fashionable.
those. And then elbow pads, gloves, and a helmet. And
Perfect.
a private area protector right there too.
That is awesome. So we have the skates on. We're on the rink. Where are we at right now? We're in Lincolnshire.
We're in Lincolnwood.
That's
Lincolnwood,
right.
Illinois.
And this is where the camp is all the time.
This is where the camp is all the time, yes.
And then how many rinks are there around the Midwest? Are there several, like just all around? Because this is a big hockey area.
It is a big hockey area. I would have to say within a 10-mile radius of this rink, there is probably 7 or 8.
Wow. So this is
more.
big. A lot of kids. How early do you start training the kids?
How early in their careers?
Yeah, like
Or how early in the day?
no, well, both. We can answer both of that. Like 5 years old, you would say is their first time they can come to camp.
As far as hockey, yes, 5 or 6 year old when kids start
That's awesome.
playing hockey. Yes.
I think I missed the boat. I was always a cheerleader, but I think I'm
Never
pretty
too
well.
late.
There we
I
go.
do adults too.
Well, I'm
Never
going
too
to have
late.
to come out to camp. Well, besides today, but actually come back and really get aggressive with it.
I get a lot of adults who skated up until youth or high school and then stop playing for amount of years
And then they want to come back and
it.
learn. That's awesome. Well, I am getting educated all around today, but we have a puck. We have our sticks.
Yes.
Is that the right word? Okay.
Stick, yes.
We have our stick. Now, show me how we'd kind of go down the rink with it.
Okay, so a couple things. If you're just pushing it down the rink without any pressure,
Okay.
you'll push it with one hand.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll have it on your backhand. That's your backhand.
Okay.
That's the forehand. That's your backhand. So you just have it out to the side.
Okay.
Okay. And just push it with one hand. Go.
Like this?
Yep. Out to the side. There you go.
It's like walking a dog.
Yep. Keep
But
it
a
out in
feisty
front.
dog.
Keep it out in front.
Keep what?
Keep the
in
puck
front?
out in front of you. There you go. And to the side.
And then, do you ever do it like
You can do
in
it-
this side?
You can do it this way too.
Okay.
Go. Push.
I couldn't resist. I feel like an ice skater.
There you go.
Okay, so now let's talk about shooting because I really want to make my first goal. I've
you?
never shot a puck into a
wanna
goal.
score?
I want to score.
right.
That's right.
So when you shoot the puck, you're gonna bring it back.
Okay.
Don't move. Okay.
This is the first time, guys.
First of all, your hand placement on the stick should be shoulder width apart or forearms length apart. So let your arms hang down like that. There, so that's where your hand should be. That's good. On
Awesome.
the stick, on the puck. Puck will be back. Okay, don't move your body. Now look at where you're aiming. Okay, make sure you keep the blade over the puck.
Okay.
Bring it back. Keep it like that the whole time. Now go. There you go.
Weekends with Whitney first. We did it thanks to
Yes.
Coach Kevin
We
Delaney.
scored.
We scored. Thank you
scored.
so much for letting us come out, learn a little bit about hockey. There's so much more going on. Where can people find out about your camps?
You can find out at DelaneyHockey.com.
DelaneyHockey.com. You got it. Coming up next, we'll talk to one of his little camperoonies. We'll be right back.
This portion of Weekends with Whitney is brought to you by Nitrogen Legal PC. Legal help when you need it most. Call 312-698-8909.
The fall might be here, but it's not too early to start talking holiday taping. And we want you to sit front row with Weekends with Whitney. If you recall, last year we gave away a house to a military veteran and connected a 7-year-old with his bone marrow donor. And just when you thought you saw it all, we surprised the audience with some great gifts. But this year we're doing it up again and even better. And we want you to be involved. Make sure to go to weekendswithwhitney.com, click tickets, and get your front row seat today. Hello, welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds. I had to get gussied up again after that little blow of ice to the face, and you were actually one of those people that did it. Luke Skarzinski, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I don't know, guys, if you were watching in the last scene, whenever it first started, those 3 brutes came up and got me, and you're one of them.
Charming brutes. I would go with charming.
Charming brutes, I know, yes. And you're apparently really good on the ice. Tell us, how long have you been playing hockey?
I've been playing hockey since I was 5 or 6 years old, and been on the ice ever since.
What made you at 5 want to play hockey? Was it because you grew up watching the Blackhawks, or your parents were like, we're not going to be a pageant mom, we're going to be a hockey mom?
Right. So my dad had grown up, and he had been on the ice a couple times. Never really played hockey himself, but thought maybe it'd be something fun for me to do. He took me to the rink one day, and he always says that was his big mistake because I never left.
Oh, so you started playing at 5. What were some of the achievements that you've done over the years?
Some of the achievements. So I've been fortunate enough to skate with the great Kevin Delaney, both as
Wow.
a player and as an employee.
This
on
is
the
not
staff.
a PSA. Yeah. So you're working with his camp.
With Delaney Hockey.
Oh, I love that. And then you're a senior in school. Did you play through school?
Yep. So I played growing up. I played first for Wilmette, the Wilmette Braves. I came over to CYA, Chicago Young Americans, before eventually going to the Lake Forest Academy for high school, and then to Middlebury College, where I played my first 2 years there.
How tough is it to play hockey in school? Because I know, let's break down high school, for example. When I was in high school, cheerleading, because it's the South, was huge, like cheerleading and football. But here, hockey is the football.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people try out.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that try out. It's pretty competitive, but it's all worthwhile. And especially for me, as something that I was growing up, I was doing it all the time. It's just been such a big part of my life. I was really fortunate that I was able to combine both school and hockey, and it's something that I really value when I look back on high school and college.
Absolutely. I love that you said the combination, because it does have to be a healthy combo, because both take work. And that, would you say you learned some of your big skills, like as you go into the workforce? You're a senior, and so next year, hopefully you'll graduate,
Right.
and you'll be going to the workforce. And actually, you've already done some big things. You're working out in California this summer, too,
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
And would you say that hockey helped develop a lot of those team working skills?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's something that I've for sure felt, and I know that a lot of employers look for it as well. People who play hockey, people who play other sports competitively, they know right from the get-go that you're competitive, you're a good team player, you're willing to put in the hard work to get the job done, and at the end of the day, when you move from a team setting in the hockey world to the corporate world, it's the same mission, it's just on a different rink.
I love that. It's the same mission but on a different rink. That is very tweetable. I love that saying. That's really nice.
You should follow me.
We're gonna have to follow him, guys. Yeah, no, we definitely will have to. So let's talk about after college. How hard is it to go pro?
How hard is it to go pro? Well, you know, it depends on if you put in the hours and you've really worked. There's always opportunities at different places. It might not be the NHL. Not everybody is fortunate enough to get there. That is, of course, the dream for every young player when they start out.
Would that be a dream of yours?
It was a dream of mine, but it's been time to reassess for a while now.
Yeah, you know what though? But that's another thing is a lot of people never learn how to really face reality in a sense. You know, we all have dreams of being XYZ, but you know, it's the kind of that where do we actually go from here? And so you're still able to have the hockey component, teach at camps, but still look forward and going into the workforce. So you're deciding not going to go pro.
Right. I'm able, fortunately, I've played long enough that a bunch of my friends are making that step to the NHL and to other pro, and so I can live my hockey career vicariously through them.
Yes, and then when you get a little one, you'll be able to take him to the rink like that.
Day one. We're training them for pro.
We're training them. Now, when you saw me on skates, how close am I to going pro?
I think you're not quite there yet, but you do look good.
Well, thank you. I'll take that. Yeah, no, that's so funny because that's one of my first times to actually hit the rink. So it was fun, an experience. I would say that there's a lot of different things that are going on when you're on the ice. It's balance, and then you throw a puck in it, and that's the whole objective of the game is to get it in the goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or keep it from going in yours.
Now that's a good point too. And then what advice would you say for anybody young that either their kids are just starting doing hockey, or maybe they're at that point where they're trying to decide, do I go pro, do I focus on career? What advice would you give?
Have fun. At the end of the day, it all comes back to that, and as weird as that might sound, that's if you're not having fun, you're not going to enjoy it and you're not going to get better. So just make sure that you're in it for the right reasons and can keep moving forward.
I love that. Keep moving forward, and we'll take that a step farther and we'll put hockey with it. Keep gliding forward.
There you go.
Okay, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more hockey.
Want the Whitney look? Well, now you can have it. Visit K Page Salon located at 956 West Webster or call 773-477-3000 and tell them Whitney sent you.
Hello and welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds, and I am energized at this point. Not only have I learned how to skate, but now we are doing it for a cause. I am joined by Nick Curley and Tom Stanton. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, how old are you, little buddy?
Maybe 7.
You are 7, but this little 7-year-old is doing more than some of us do in our lifetime. You have just every year taken on a new thing, and I'm just so proud. Let's talk about Danny Did. Now, Tom, you are the director?
Yep, I'm the executive director of the Danny Did Foundation.
Tell us a little bit about what Danny Did Foundation is.
Sure. So Danny Did Foundation is a nonprofit based in Chicago that was started by my brother Mike and his wife Marianne. Their 4-year-old Danny passed away from a seizure that he had in his sleep in December of 2009. And since then, Mike and Marianne started this foundation with the mission to prevent deaths caused by seizures. So we help families to be aware of epilepsy and something called sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, or SUDEP, which is what Danny died from. So we're really focused on raising awareness, and Nick has done a great job to help us do that.
Let's talk about what you're doing for the Danny Did Foundation. You're skating?
Yeah.
How many miles?
100.
100 miles?
Yeah.
Did you come up with this idea?
My mom sort of helped me, but most of it was me.
So you just came home and you said, I want to do something big this year.
Yeah. I said I wanted to do a fundraiser.
A fundraiser, a little? Wow. And this is not a little thing. You're doing huge things. So what made you get the idea about 100 miles?
Well, my cousin had epilepsy, so I thought about that, and I've been doing a lot of stuff for the Danny Did Foundation, so then I just came up with this.
It was a no-brainer. You wanted to give back.
Yeah.
Well, this foundation sounds absolutely amazing. And so what have you been able to do over the years for it?
So we're now in our 3rd year as a foundation, and what we focus on primarily is technology and devices that can help to alarm to seizures that happen. So these complement medicine and surgery and dietary options that families have. But basically the idea is that you have a device that can let you know when a seizure is going on, so you can address it and be there and take all the steps that you know how to take as a parent to keep your child safe.
Wow.
So we're really proud to have Nick and the Curleys helping us out. The Curley family has been a longtime friend of our family, and like Nick said, his cousin has a severe form of epilepsy.
So would it be these devices that you're talking about in the technology, would it be in children that already have warning signs? It would be, the doctor would already say you have a tendency to have seizures.
Exactly. So these would be kids who have epilepsy, which is defined as 2 or more unprovoked seizures.
Wow.
So these are families that are looking for more resources, especially during nighttime. So nocturnal seizures can be especially dangerous. It's a vulnerable time.
Absolutely.
Danny only had his seizures at night, and his parents didn't know if they were missing some. They'd check on him all the time, and they used a baby monitor, but it's a time of a lot of uncertainties for families, and these devices can help to let them know when a seizure's happening.
Wow. And so going back to your 100 miles that you're going to be skating for the Danny Did Foundation, how many miles are you up to right now? Is it 55?
55, yeah.
55 miles. And you've been skating some of those backwards?
Yeah, most of them.
Wow. That is intense. And so as you move forward, going closer to the 100-mile mark, what do you want to do? You want to skate big time? You want to skate different places?
I'm raising money, and our goal is to get $25,000.
That's a big number.
I think we're only up to like 9,000 so far.
We're only up to 9,000. Guys, you should take advice from this little 7-year-old. I mean, look, that's the thing about children, is they really have this no limits.
Absolutely.
And I think that is something that we all should take on personally. So you're up to $9,000. You're quickly gaining. So is it that people can donate to it for every mile you do?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have a website set up, or is it through Danny Did Foundation?
The easiest way to donate is go to www.dannydid.org.
Wow, you know what? If you don't become a professional hockey player, I think you could be a talk show host. He got that website right out.
He knows the
that
stuff.
could take me sometimes a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah.
Sharp
And
kid.
so talking about these last few miles, whenever you reach the 100-mile mark, where would be your dream place to hit the 100-mile finish this fundraiser, Mark?
United Center.
The United Center, because you are Chicago. Well, we got to make this happen. We got to make it happen. I'm so proud of you. This is just a great way to round out a show. You know, we all love giving back, and I think this is so big. And a 7-year-old is motivation. You're doing big things. What would you tell little kids at home?
Probably that they should do a fundraiser.
That they should do a fundraiser. Okay, well, you heard it here first. Thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find out more about Danny Did?
Like Nick said, our website is the best place, www.dannydid.org. We're also on Facebook, and we're on Twitter at dannydid.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on and spreading awareness.
Sure.
And thank you, buddy. Can I have a high five? Oh yeah. Okay guys, we have done it all today. You've seen me on skates. We've talked to a Blackhawks coach, and we've also talked about giving back. Perfect way to end a show. We'll see you right back here next Saturday and Sunday.